Look around. We're literally drowning in data today, right? It's massive, it's chaotic. Whether we're talking about neural networks with billions of parameters or endless human genetic sequencing, making sense of all this messy information, that is absolutely the defining challenge of our era. So, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to dive into a wildly fascinating mathematical framework that is actively taming this exact chaos.
So you might be wondering, what is the actual shape of data? And maybe more importantly, how on earth can finding that shape help us do things like cure complex diseases or put guardrails on artificial intelligence? I know, it sounds a bit like sci-fi, but it's happening right now. It's being spearheaded by pioneers like Professor Gunnar Carlsson out of Stanford. Today, we're unpacking his profound insights on how a super abstract branch of math is leaping right out of the textbook and into the real world. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The shape of data. Finding structure in chaos.
Okay, so algebraic topology, or as it's known when we apply it to information, topological data analysis, or TDA for short. Now, traditionally, topology is just the pure mathematical study of shape. It seems entirely abstract, right? But, as Professor Carlsson points out, shape is fundamentally just a way of organizing things. So when you've got these messy, incredibly complicated datasets, topology gives us a framework to find the continuous structures and the hidden relationships buried deep inside that data. It's literally taking the ultimate abstract math and making it entirely practical.
And you know, every great mathematical journey has an origin story. For Carlsson, it actually started when he was just 5 or 6 years old. Russia had just launched the Sputnik satellite. His father, who was incredibly excited by this huge, monumental event, told him, what they needed to do this, they needed math. You should do math. That simple, powerful little push grounded Carlsson's whole career. It really instilled this belief in him that pure, intricate math shouldn't just, sit on a chalkboard somewhere. It absolutely needs to be immensely useful to society.
Moving on to Section 2, Real-World Topology, Playing Games with Data. To really grasp how topological organizes data, Professor Carlsson makes this brilliant analogy to that popular New York Times game, Connections. If you've played it, you know exactly what I mean. You're staring at this grid of 16 messy, totally random-looking items, and your goal? Find the hidden overlapping groups, understand how these groups differ, and figure out what specific traits actually tie them together. Well, that is exactly what topological data analysis does, just on a massive, highly complex scale. It essentially divides data into these interconnected groups so we can actually interpret what it is we're looking at. Now, if you work in data science, you're probably super familiar with PCA, Principal Component Analysis. PCA is awesome for finding which feature carries the most variance, basically the most mathematical noise. But the thing is, it doesn't always divide things up into neat groups where you can easily see what's actually going on. Topology, on the other hand, is literally designed from the ground up to find coverings and overlaps. It hunts down those continuous structures that PCA might just flatten out or ignore completely. So it gives us this much richer, way more interpretable map of the data.
So let's look at how this translates into actual life-saving applications. When Carlsson teamed up with domain experts like Monica Nicolau, they applied these exact topological tools to some seriously complex breast cancer RNA sequencing data. And by looking at the shape of this biological data, they were able to identify entirely distinct disease subtypes that just weren't obvious before at all. By grouping these specific variations together, medical professionals can suddenly develop highly targeted treatments. Think about that for a second. This isn't just theory anymore. This is math actively organizing chaos to save human lives.
All right, Section 3. Math guiding modern AI beyond brute force compute.
Right now, there's this really fascinating two-way street developing between artificial intelligence and mathematics. On one side, you have AI for math, which is using AI to produce new proofs or solve these decades-old conjectures. And yeah, it's impressive, no doubt. But Carlsson argues that math for AI, meaning using mathematical foundations to interpret and actually guide our neural networks, has a much larger, way more immediate impact on society. We absolutely need math to understand the very AI systems we're rapidly deploying across the globe.
And this perspective really pushes back against a super popular narrative in tech right now. You hear it all the time. Oh, we don't need to understand the AI, just leave it to scale. Just throw more compute at it. But Carlsson points out the massive flaw in that brute force kind of thinking. He says, even if we fill up the entire state of Texas with data centers, the right data is still incredibly hard to collect. You simply cannot solve the long tail of AI edge cases just by scaling up blind compute. We genuinely need a foundational mathematical understanding to guide these models.
Ultimately, this all comes down to interpretability.
especially when we're talking about regulated industries like finance or healthcare. You can't just deploy a black box AI out into the wild. You have to know why it's making a specific decision. Inside modern neural networks, those internal activations are just incredibly noisy. While topology helps us zoom out and identify what AI researchers call supernodes, these larger-scale phenomena and features. It basically allows us to map how one layer of a neural network relates to another. It takes a chaotic black box and turns it into an interpretable structure. Total game changer.
Section 4. Bridging academia and industry. Building toys for data. Now, Professor Carlsson didn't just stay tucked away in the classroom. He actually co-founded companies like Iosity to bring this topology directly to the industry. And man, he learned some hard lessons along the way. As researchers, it's so tempting to build a pure mathematical tool and just expect everyone to figure out how to use it. But yeah, that's not how business works. You have to really think through the business case. You have to conduct deep customer research. And most importantly, you have to build intuitive user interfaces. You literally need to give people toys they can play with. Automated tools where they can plug in their messy data and instantly see those topological groups pop up. You can't expect the everyday user to adapt to pure math. You have to adapt the math to the user.
Finally, Section 5. The new speed of science, from years to seconds.
We are in the middle of a massive cultural shift in how research is done. Think about the old academic paradigm for mathematics. It was slow. You'd write a completely bulletproof paper, submit it, and then wait. Sometimes 2 whole years for peer review. But today's era, it's all about rapid prototyping. Researchers are publishing highly detailed, directionally correct ideas straight onto blog posts, like the stuff we see from Anthropic or communities like Less Wrong. It creates this incredibly fast feedback loop where an entire community pushes back, iterates, and advances the science in real time.
And guess what? AI itself is actively accelerating this exact process. Carlsson notes that he now uses AI tools like Gemini not necessarily to write his proofs, but as superpowered search engines. Because when you want to bridge wildly different domains, say computer science, biology, and topology, you can't possibly read the deep technical literature of every single field. Life is just too short for that. But these AI tools, they've read all the expository literature. They can synthesize these dense concepts instantly, which allows a mathematician to quickly form intuitions and test hypotheses that would have literally taken months to research in the past.
Okay, let's wrap things up with this thought. We've seen how finding the mathematical shape of information allows us to decode complex diseases and actually bring interpretability to these massive, chaotic AI models. Topology takes the messiness of the real world and reveals the elegant, continuous structures hiding just beneath the surface. So my question to you is this: if the shape of data is really this powerful, what hidden structures are just waiting to be discovered inside the messy, complicated problems of your own work? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep looking for the shape of things.